Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our podcast series. I am Rose.
And I'm Will. Today we're diving into a topic of detective mystery incident which is called The Silence of Sycamore Hill.
All right, so you're here with us because you like to get right to it right. You want to understand what really matters?
Without having to wade through,
Yeah.
Tons and tons of details.
Exactly.
That's what we're all about. And today we're taking a deep dive into something a little bit different.
Yeah, this one's a bit unique.
It is, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be looking at excerpts from a detective mystery
Oh, cool.
called The Silence in Sycamore Hill.
Okay, so think classic whodunit.
Yeah, exactly. And, we're going to be your guides through this whole narrative, helping you not just follow the plot, but really understand,
Or those little details.
the really intriguing elements at play.
Yeah, the stuff that makes you think.
Right, and we'll be focusing on two main characters.
Okay.
Detective Riley Quinn, he's the investigator coming in from the outside.
Insider perspective.
And Sheriff Ben Harper, who is the guy who knows Sycamore Hill like the back of his hand.
Born and raised.
Exactly.
So, small town vibes for sure.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to unpack this central mystery piece by piece and figure out what makes it tick.
I love it. So let's set the scene.
Okay.
Where are we? What's Sycamore Hill all about?
All right, so picture this Sycamore Hill. One main street, a couple of diners, an old church,
Quaint.
quaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the quiet in there, it's not just the absence of noise, it's like a presence.
Oh, well, I get that.
It's almost like you can feel it.
Like it's heavy.
Exactly. And against this backdrop, we have Emma Lawson, the school librarian.
Okay.
She disappears.
Vanishes.
Poof, gone.
So that quiet is definitely shattered for her.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like throwing a stone into a still pond,
Into those ripples.
Exactly. And the way the author uses the setting, that pervasive silence, it's not just background. It feels like it's holding something back,
Ooh, I like that.
Like it's hiding something.
Okay, so that's the setup. We've got a missing librarian
Right.
and a town that's holding its breath,
Yeah, and that's where Detective Quinn enters the picture.
stepping right into Sheriff Harper's world.
Yeah, and you can tell Harper's on edge a little bit,
Small town sheriff, big city detective.
Yeah, there's definitely some tension there. And Harper even says, Quinn being there probably means it's more than just someone running off,
Oh, he knows something's up.
right? And he lays out the initial facts about Emma, 34 years old, gone for 4 nights.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting. No forced entry.
Okay.
The door was locked from the inside.
Wait, how is that possible?
This is the question, right? And get this, all her stuff, her keys, phone, wallet, all left behind.
So she didn't run away.
It doesn't seem like it, right? And even her dog was home fed, but, clearly distressed.
Well, pork pop.
I know, right? So you start putting these details together, and it paints a very specific picture.
It's like a puzzle with missing pieces.
Exactly.
And did they say anything about the neighbors? I mean, did anyone see anything?
That's the thing about Sycamore Hill.
Right, the quiet.
Harper says it's quiet as snowfall. People keep it themselves. So getting information, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh, man, that's got to be frustrating.
Very frustrating for Quinn. But there is one clue.
Okay, tell me.
There's a single traffic camera in town, and it caught Emma leaving the library around 7:30 p.m.
Alone.
Totally alone. And here's a detail that might stick with you.
She was smiling.
Smiling! Really?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? It suggests that she wasn't in any immediate danger at that moment.
Yeah, you don't usually smile if you're being followed or something.
Exactly. But, as you often find in these stories, appearances can be deceiving.
Okay, so the smile might be a red herring?
Maybe, and the camera also caught someone else nearby?
Who?
Eli Briggs.
Okay, and who's he?
He's the caretaker at the old Trinity Church.
The church we were talking about before.
The very same.
All right, so we have another person to consider now.
We do, and the plot thickens.
So let's talk about Eli then. What do we know about this guy?
Okay, so Harper describes Eli as a bit of a recluse.
The loner.
Yeah, someone who talks to the graves, he says.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's lived in Sycamore Hill his whole life, keeps to himself. Generally hasn't caused any trouble.
But still gives off creepy vibes.
A little bit. Yeah, and his description really positions him as an outsider,
Even in a town full of outsiders.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so he's the caretaker at the church. The librarian disappears, and this is where it gets really interesting.
What's that?
The book.
Oh, yes, the book.
Tell me everything.
So the day she disappeared, Emma checked out a book from the library.
Makes sense. She's a librarian.
Right. But this book was a little different. It was called The History of Sycamore Hill.
Ooh, juicy.
Right. And at first, Harper kind of brushes it off. He says it's probably just local lore, ghost stories, maybe some old rail records.
Small town stuff.
Exactly. But then he mentions something significant.
Tell me.
A mine collapse that happened beneath the church back in 1971.
Oh, wow.
18 men were killed.
That's awful. A whole tragedy right under the church.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. And, a tragedy of that scale, it would definitely leave a scar on a small community like Sycamore Hill.
For sure.
And think about it, that event, it probably shaped the town in ways that might not be immediately obvious.
Right, like how people act, how they think, even the silence.
Exactly, and this is where Detective Quinn makes a leap.
Oh, he's putting the pieces together.
He is. He's thinking maybe Emma wasn't just looking for a light read.
She was on to something.
Right, maybe she was digging into something connected to that mine collapse and the fact that it happened right under the church.
Something the town wanted to forget.
Exactly.
Because, let's be real, buried history has a way of coming back to haunt us.
Oh, absolutely. History leaves echoes. And a tragedy like that, it creates secrets, unspoken anxieties, maybe even guilt within a community.
Yeah. So Emma's interest in the town's history, especially the mine collapse connected to Eli's domain, that feels like a huge lead.
It's definitely significant.
Okay, so where do they go next?
Well, the investigation naturally leads them to Trinity Church. The very same. And this script really paints a vivid picture here.
Not the scene for me.
It's dusk starting to get dark, and they approach this looming old building.
Spooky.
Very spooky. And Harper even sounds a little hesitant.
Like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he asks Quinn if he's sure about this,
Yeah.
which hints at some kind of local feeling about the place,
Superstitions, maybe?
maybe, or just a general sense of unease.
Have you ever felt that? Like a weight or unspoken history attached to an old building?
Oh, for sure. Like walking into an old library or an antique store.
Yes, exactly. You just feel it.
Right. And in the story, that atmosphere becomes almost tangible.
So it's not just the location?
No, the church is like a symbol. It represents the town's past and maybe some hidden truths.
And Harper's hesitation, it just adds to that feeling of something being off.
Absolutely.
So they go inside. What's it like?
Well, it looks deserted at first,
Creep.
but Harper corrects Quinn. He says Eli keeps it clean, that it's just waiting.
Waiting. Waiting for what? It's ominous.
Very ominous. And then, boom, Quinn notices something.
What is it?
A trapdoor.
No way. A classic hidden passage.
Hidden under a rug near the pulpit.
Oh, man. That's like straight out of a mystery novel.
It is. And what does a detail like that tell you?
Secrets.
Exactly. Secrets hidden beneath the surface. You can practically feel the weight of time and everything that's happened there.
Okay, I'm getting chills.
And Quinn has this realization, he says, that Emma wasn't just curious. She was close to something.
She was onto something big.
Exactly.
So the tension is building.
It is.
What happens next?
They keep searching, and then they find it.
What do they find?
A wall, a stone and wood wall that looks recently disturbed.
Okay.
And behind it, a hollow space.
Oh, no.
And then the most crucial sound, Harper hears a faint whimper.
Yeah.
Human.
Death, though.
Emma.
Emma.
It's Emma, hidden away, alive.
Oh, my God, she's alive, but someone put her there.
Exactly. That's Quinn's immediate conclusion. This wasn't an accident. Someone intentionally put her in that hidden space.
Okay, so who?
Well, the obvious suspect is Eli Briggs, and what do you know?
He's gone.
Vanished after Emma's discovery.
So he's definitely involved somehow, but why?
That's the million-dollar question. And when they finally get to speak to Emma, she adds another layer to the story.
Hey, what does she say?
She told him that Eli believed the town was hiding something, that people who asked questions disappeared.
Oh, wow, like a conspiracy.
Yeah, and get this, he claimed he kept her there for her own safety.
What?
Yeah, just a strange twist, right? His motivations seem to be rooted in this belief, maybe a delusion about the dangers of uncovering the town's secrets.
So he thought he was protecting her.
It seems that way, even though his actions were misguided and harmful, they might have stemmed from a warped sense of protection.
So he was afraid of something.
He definitely was.
That's the question.
And Quinn's assessment is that Eli had probably lost his grip on reality, but that his fear might have been genuine.
Oh, man. So what's real and what's not?
That's what they have to figure out.
So what happens? Do they find out what Eli was so afraid of?
Well, the story ends with the decision to start digging.
Digging.
Literally and metaphorically.
So they're going to explore those hidden spaces and delve into the town's secrets.
Exactly. They're going to try to uncover the truth behind Eli's fear and figure out what's really going on in Sycamore Hill.
So it's a cliffhanger.
It is a classic cliffhanger.
Man, I need to know what happens next.
Right. It makes you want to keep reading.
Well, we did it. We took a deep dive into the silence in Sycamore Hill.
We sure did. And it really makes you think about the power of secrets. How they can fester in a community hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, and it reminds us that silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it's hiding something much darker.
It makes you wonder what secrets are lurking in your own town, or even in your own family history.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What hidden truths are just waiting to be uncovered.
Definitely food for thought.
It is. And that's what we're all about here, getting you to think a little deeper.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us on this exploration of Sycamore Hill.
It's been a pleasure, and until next time, keep those ears open.
And those minds curious.
You never know what secrets you might uncover.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.